Well, welcome back to Miss Deborah's Tea Room. We're talking about divas, daughters, their secret shame, and issues with self-worth and self-confidence. The question is, do you know who she really is, or is she a reflection of what's blind to you and the people closest to her? Do you know? Can we have some real talk in order to save our daughters? Well, that's why we're here. We're going to work on this thing. We're going to try to do what we can to save our daughters. Before we left, you were telling us a good story?
Well, I wanted to tell you the story I heard once with regard to the difference in an eagle and a crow.
Okay.
And I told this story to a young lady, and it made a difference in her life. And I'd like for you to meet her one day.
Oh, absolutely.
But what it is that the crow and the eagle are both birds. But sometimes when things happen, you don't feel good about yourself. Somebody's having a party or going somewhere you're not invited. They're the cool people at that table, and here you are. Well, you really want to be an eagle. An eagle flies very high. Crows do not. Crows can fly maybe just a few hundred feet. But eagles fly very high. They make their nests very high in big trees. They're around coastal areas and water. They eat mostly fish. But crows, they have a life of eating garbage and roadkill and
absolutely.
You will find the crows around, and crows fight other birds. They fight big birds. But eagles don't do that kind of fighting.
They rise above it.
They rise above it.
I love that.
They rise above it.
That.
So you want to be the eagle and not the crow.
Yeah.
So when you're in a situation where you're left out of the cool kids, just remember that you're the eagle.
And not the crow.
Right.
Yeah.
Crows can fly maybe 500 up 500 feet, where eagles can fly 20 times that high, 10,000 feet.
Absolutely. Now, that would be an appropriate story for one of the scenarios we did this summer. Some of the girls shared with me that if a boy likes you in school, you know, walks you to your class, hold your books, look at you, etc., then you are the diva. But if a boy is not looking at you or showing interest in you, then you're not popular.
And
you're not.
They feel that they're not important.
Absolutely.
But teenage
that
girls,
story would have been good.
Just like teenage boys, they really want attention. We must give them attention, positive attention.
Absolutely.
Because they feel rejected and otherwise, and they would really. Rejection is one thing, but they really would rather have your attention.
I was going to say, so how does what should a parent begin to do, especially in this is such a critical age group. I mean, some of the shame that I heard was unbelievable.
Yeah, people have a lot of shame, and a lot of things happen to teenagers that they will not tell, that they need to tell.
They need to tell.
And they carry the shame of what has happened, especially if it's some kind of abuse, physical or sexual abuse. They'll carry that shame into adulthood, and all the relationships feed off of that shame, and the person you're in a relationship may not even know what your problem is, why you're being moody, why you're being depressed. But we need to try to keep a conversation going, to talk to them, listen to them, look at what they're doing. Children nowadays are doing things parents would deny if you would ask them. If you ask a parent right now, does your child watch porn? They'll say, I don't think so, probably
not.
That's
the other thing.
But children are watching porn at night and all night.
Let me tell
Teenagers.
You, they just go on, so forget about porn. They're taking pictures of their private parts and putting it on social media.
Right.
And wait a minute, if I were a parent with that child, I'd probably be saying, my daughter wouldn't do that.
Correct.
And she would be the main one doing it.
So you're in denial.
Yeah, I think most parents, so let's talk about that 50s, you know, when people who were born or taught during the 50s, and how some parents are still in those places, and how it's setting up these girls today.
Yeah, it is a setup. But one thing I think would help ease parents is to understand that your child is half you and half daddy. Think about the things you did, and they are magnified and multiplied in your kid. Because we seem to forget the stuff we did. So when the kid starts to do it, and do it better than we do and longer than we do, then we're looking at them like there's something wrong.
So you know, I also deal with women, and you know they're carrying that shame.
Yes.
So see, what we're asking for, what's happening here is the child, the reflection of mom, and you know mom has her shame.
Right.
So that same thing is being carried. That's what the young person is seeing, and that's the reflection. I also think it's important, talk about the people that you allow your children to be around and the influence that they have.
I think that teenagers as a whole are risky. They like new experiences, and they're going to press the limits. But that's not all bad.
Right.
They're going to have different friends, but having different friends allows them to learn and understand and see what kind of people they want to be with later on as adults. They start to pick up things about people which help them make better decisions in the future. So it's really not all bad who they're hanging with and what they're doing, but we just have to be there and make sure they see the difference. That this is a person, if this person is a bad influence, that this person is a crow, and you want to be the eagle.
But I think that I just don't think you can come and tell me that if you have not developed a very good relationship with me as my mom. I'd rather call my girlfriend or go. So many of my kids talk about their friends on social media. They've never met in their life. They never will, and they just share all kinds of stuff. And that's what they do. They go to social media and share these things. So I'm just thinking, what can we do as
really
parents?
Not all that bad. I understand there was a study done where because of Facebook and social media that there has been a decrease in suicides in teens.
Well, I don't know about that, and I think that would be a great thing. But we all know that that medium can be used for the good and also for the, but who is the person who's helping us navigate that? That's who we need to talk to. And it's not just the parents, is it? I mean, we send our kids to school, we send them to churches, we send them to spend the night with girlfriends and their parents. It's a auntie and uncle and, you know, the uncle who's not the uncle, you know. And all. You think those kids don't know? They get in my class and talk about these uncles, you know? So I'm just thinking.
It's funny you said that, because I know I've heard that before. That was funny.
Of course they have uncles. They tell me about it. And the interesting thing, I'm a stranger. I show love. I let them talk among themselves. I let them be free because I agree with that. But then they tell it.
Yeah, they do. It's good for them that they have somebody they can trust. They must trust you to be telling you this kind of thing, that you're not going to punish them or get them in trouble.
No, but I will speak truth. I mean, truth as it relates to 5-10 years from now. And hopefully when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the sexuality piece.
Okay.
And I think that's another part that we really got to work on, okay? We have to take a break. Wow. But we'll be right back.